lovely people, I'm Cara and I am so mad. So welcome back to my channel. God, it's been a funny few weeks. It's June already. I mean, how did that happen? Where has the year gone? Oh, just flying by. I've got lots I want to talk to you about today, so I'm going to try and remember it all. But the first thing I want to do is to say a big thank you. If you watched my channel for a few weeks, I've just made a subtle change to my opening titles, and the music has been kindly created, written and played by my wonderful cousin Ed Rice. So thank you so much, Ed. I absolutely love it. Ed is an incredibly talented musician, plays all manner of musical instruments. He's currently studying at the Guildhall. Yeah, I'm not going to do justice to just how brilliant and talented he is. So his details are in the credits, and that will be my title music going forward. But I just wanted to say thank you so much, Ed. What a lovely thing to do. Yeah, very talented. This video, I wanted to do something different. Seems to be a kind of, well, there's a lot of coverage in the media at the moment about thinking differently for all sorts of different reasons, not least the coronavirus, the terrible things that happen in America. Just generally, life is encouraging us to think differently. And in my little world, I have been doing the same, actually, not for the same reasons that are in the wider agenda. But it's my little world, and I have decided to do some different things, and different for me means sewing for other people. I've not done it. I've never actually, I measured my daughter once or twice, but as you'll know, she doesn't wear a lot of the things I made, so I kind of stopped doing it. But there is a very significant other in my life that I've never sewn for. That would be my husband, of course, and I don't know, I thought to myself, why not? Push the boundaries, do something different. And you know what? Even just the experience of measuring him was very strange. You know, the neck in inches and, you know, big old arms and all that sort of stuff. So it was really exciting. So I'm going to share with you what I made for my husband. But also I have, where have I put it? I have over here something else I wanted to share with you, in case you see me drinking this. I also have done something very different. I went on a bike ride recently, and the hedgerows around near where I live are full of elderflowers. It was absolutely stunning. Now, we have had some amazing weather recently, just categorically amazing. I don't remember a summer like it. Well, it hasn't been a summer like it. I haven't worked for the whole of the summer, but nonetheless, yeah, beautiful, full of elderflowers. And you know, I've never thought to do anything with elderflowers at all. And I just thought, I'm going to make elderflower cordial. So I have. And I'm not a domestic goddess in any way, shape or form. I am not allowed in the kitchen, not because I don't want to cook or because I like to cook. I just have always worked longer hours than my husband generally, and so we've evolved that he does the cooking. So me being in the kitchen was just great, but I'm going to put some footage in. I know I've got viewers from all around the world. Hello, I absolutely love you being here. And I know elderflower grows in other places, but I wanted to show you what it looks like in my countryside. So I took some footage of the hedgerows, because it is just a wild plant, a wild flower. But you know what? I love how nature keeps the best for herself, because although these hedges are full of elderflower, there's normally a barrier of a ditch, or there's a barrier of stinging nettles. So actually to pick elderflowers was a little more challenging than I could have imagined. But it was one of the loveliest things I have done in my adult life. I was just on my own picking elderflowers. Birds were singing, the sun was shining. I'm a happy lady. And actually making elderflower cordial was incredibly simple. And I will pop a link down below to the lady I followed. I just YouTubed it and I had a look and see how I make it. And this is the result. So I made 3.5 litres. I'm sharing this with you because you are part of my life, but we're also creative people, and trying to think of this and think and get us to think differently, if you like. Ah, do you know what? That is summer in a glass. I'm going to put it somewhere else, otherwise I'm going to knock it over. But I just loved it. It gave me such joy, as does sewing, so why not share it? So a little segue into what else I've been up to. But let me share with you these shirts. Okay, so I didn't have any menswear patterns. I didn't have any men's fabric. You just don't think of it, do you? I don't. When I buy fabrics, you've just seen my recent fabric haul. If you haven't, I'll pop in a card up here. But just thought, oh, what am I going to do? So I'm thinking, don't really want to spend any money because things aren't great at the moment. I'm lucky enough to be on furlough pay, but that's going on bills. It's not really going on buying extra things, although I have done a little bit, you know that. But I've been very careful. So I thought, as you may know, my husband's well, I'm not sure I've mentioned it, but anyway, he loves cycling and has got a whole collection of bikes. And we had a duvet cover that had bikes on it. Now we don't use it anymore, and it was one of those ones, I'll pop a picture in here, one of those ones that got something on the front and then something different on the back. And in my mind's eye, I'm thinking I'm going to make a sort of Hawaiian style shirt using this funky fabric. I mean, it's nice colours and things, it's not too way out there, but Hawaiian shirts are way out there. And then I sort of picked up the pattern. So as you know, I'm a Seamwork subscriber, and they do have maybe 4 or 5 men's patterns on there. So I thought, oh, well, there's point 1 ticked off. I'll make the Negroni. I've said that wrong, I think. Negroni. I don't know. I'm making it up now. Okay, I'm back. I wasn't too far off. Negroni. I hope I'm saying that right. Negroni, Negroni. Negroni shirt from Seamworks. So I printed that off. I've got my fabric in the case of a duvet cover, and I thought I'd give it a go. And you know what? I'm so pleased with the results. As I say, measuring someone else, it's such a strange experience. I feel like I'm a bit like it feels like I'm a contestant on the sewing bee or something. Does anyone else have that at the moment? We're watching the sewing bee, and I seem to have this like commentary going on in my head as if it was Esme or Patrick Grant, or it's just so funny. I'm making pattern matching and finished seams and all that sort of stuff. So I did have to do some pattern matching, and I've never ever pattern matched anything before. I'm just leaning across here to get it. So this is the finished article. I will put a picture in of my husband wearing it. Now this was the alternative side of the duvet cover, so the underneath, if you like, and you can see here it's got penny farthings all over it, and then I'm going to come in a little bit closer. It's got like clocks in the background and music. Oh, I tell you what, talk about a challenge for pattern matching. I must be crazy. This, I thought I'd nailed it. I put the pattern pieces out, I cut them out, even on the pocket, for example. So the pocket I think this is one of the pockets I nailed, yeah. You can see there, look, perfect. Esme and Patrick style pattern matching for the pocket. But what I hadn't taken into consideration, and life is a learning curve, isn't it, is seam allowances, in particular for the front of the shirt. So obviously there's the front, but then obviously you have a button placket, don't you? And I hadn't lined up I'd done it perfectly, cut it, but then obviously when you fold over for the button placket and the seam allowance, my fronts no longer matched. Although I will say, I'll put a picture in because it's really hard to show you with a shirt like this. I will put a picture in, and it does actually pattern match down the front, not completely spherically of the clock faces, but it's enough for me, and I really like it on my husband, and it just gives me a little sort of warm feeling inside to have made something for him that I think he's actually going to wear, which is really cool. And do you know what? inspiration also struck in strikes me rather in the oddest of places. I was lucky enough to win some buttons from the lovely Susie from Sewing in Spain, and they turned up. I'll pop a picture, and it was on my Instagram story, so apologies if you've seen it already, of just the loveliest collection of buttons. There were olive wood buttons that even now, a week or so later, my sewing room smells like an olive grove. It's just heavenly. And in it were these buttons, and I'll come and quite in close and show you. And they're obviously natural, so they come in slightly different shades for each of them, because they're obviously individuals. But I just saw those and thought, excellent, that is going to go brilliantly with that fabric, which was just lovely. And in one of the other makes I'm going to show you, another one of the buttons, genuinely, from button arriving, 24 hours later, I had a romper suit using one of the fabrics that I didn't know what to use to do with, and that button and these buttons inspired me to make. I just love that. When I go back to work, I'm going to miss the sewing so much. I have sewn genuinely loads. I keep moving, and then my blouse keeps moving. This blouse, by the way, is one of my Emmy blouses, which is also a Seamwork pattern, in a sort of viscose I got from the good old Waltham. I've forgotten the place in London I always talk about. Walthamstow Market. But yeah, so shirt, big tick, pattern matching, big tick, use of some wonderful buttons, big tick, just great. And then I thought, why don't I make some shorts? Now, originally I was going to make the shorts in the other side of the fabric. Actually, that's just here. Yeah, look. So this was the front side of the duvet cover. Now, actually, some of you probably might even have this on your beds at home as you speak. So that was, you can see now why I thought to myself, okay, no, I'll show you. Or was it upside down? Yes. I thought to myself, sort of Hawaiian shirt. And you know what? I still may go back and make another one. But getting my husband to enter into the world of wearing me-made clothes, I thought the other one was probably a safer option. And I was going to make some shorts out of this. And then languishing in my fabric stash, and has been languishing there for some time. Just bear with me whilst I lean across here. Languishing in my fabric stash has been a grey, oh no, it's black. Oh, excuse me. A black chambray, and I thought, do you know what? No, I'm going to make some shorts out of this instead. Now, in hindsight, might not have been. It might be too heavy a weight fabric for the design. I'll stand up and show you. But they are effectively just little shorts with pockets. Although my husband says they're too. They're the biggest pockets I've ever sewn, but apparently they're too small. But the opening's quite big, he said, but they're quite shallow. But who knows? I'm new to the menswear making game. So I've got a flat front and then ruched at the back, and they are actually elasticated. Yeah, elasticated, and they've got a drawstring as well. A few head scratching moments for me on this. Couldn't work out how to. Oh, I've made so many mistakes actually. So they're not perfect, but again, sort of a toile if you like. To have the elastic casing and a drawstring did me in, because normally you would sew the ends of the elastic to keep it secure, but then obviously that meant you couldn't put the cord all the way through. So I'm not sure I've done it. No, while I'm there, it is there. They've got a functioning drawstring and elasticated, and they look pretty good on him. It's not the most glamorous top half, and I think that's to do with the thickness of the fabric. So if I'd use something more lightweight, and in fairness, these are the Harrington shorts from Seamworks. Again, because I have that subscription, I thought I'd utilise it. To be fair, the Harrington shorts are designed to be sort of swimwear, so they're designed to be in a much lighter weight fabric that would then ruche together. And actually, the design is that this side would go all the way around the waistband, but I preferred them to be flat fronted. They just look a little bit better. But to be fair, my husband wears t-shirts, doesn't wear t-shirts tucked in. His shirt, it doesn't sit tucked in either. And yeah, I'll show you a picture. So there you go. It's something different. And it has been really lovely, just for a change, just for a moment, to say something different for somebody else. And it gives me such joy. He's working full time, so he hasn't had a chance to wear these out anywhere yet. And time will tell if it's something that he reaches for or not. Yeah, probably the shirt more than the shorts, but the shorts for sure will be something comfortable to wear around the house. But these are hot off the press. I finished these this morning, so the poor chap hasn't even had a chance to have a view, yeah, he hasn't had a chance to do anything with them yet. So what else have I been up to? What else have I been doing that's been different? I also wanted to go into the world of pattern matching. Now, some of you may remember this fabric from one of my videos. It's featured in the Show Us Your Stash as a fabric that I didn't know what to do with, because I bought 1.5 meters of it. It's quite a lightweight viscose in this glorious, it's just glorious colours and checks and all sorts of things. This is from Material Girl Laura. And the buttons that came as part of the prize that I won from Susie from Sewing in Spain. It's a glorious, I hope you can see that okay, come in a little bit closer. It's a square and it's sort of beveled edges in this beautiful red, very Art Deco style. I only had 4 of them. And then I saw the release of the Alexa jumpsuit from Tilly and the Buttons. Now, I'm trying not to buy anything, but Tilly was doing an offer, and this I don't know, I really wanted a romper really. I haven't got one that's got buttons on it. All the ones I've got on are quite difficult to get in and out of. They're okay, they're jumpsuit, you know, the issues there really. But I saw the Alexa jumpsuit and I thought, it's perfect. And do you know what? I have pattern matched this completely. I can't believe I managed it. I hope you can see that because it's funny angle, I guess. But basically the checks all work. The checks work on the waistband here. I couldn't believe it. And to give myself a further challenge, I got this out of just under 1.5 meters. Now I made a size 5, I want to say. Shows how my body is changing. I've always been a size 4 in Tilly and Buttons patterns, but now I'm a 5, so embrace it. I've increased all over by this much, or whatever that means. So I really love this. It's so lightweight. The weather's changed a little bit today, although the sun is coming back out. I have got my door shut today, so remember in my last video a couple of you commented on the birds. Genuinely, my door was open, and the birds are that loud. I'm so lucky, I love it, but I hadn't quite realised how loud they were on the footage, so apologies about that. But my door's shut today, so this isn't, I can't wear this today, but I have really enjoyed it. Actually, it's one of those tops. Do you ever make anything that you just think is so pretty that you kind of almost don't want to wear it, which is daft? I genuinely prefer to make stuff that is wearable, and wearable wherever I am and whatever I'm doing. I'm relatively new to where I work, so I haven't worked out if I can wear shorts yet or not. It's a modern high street store, but I haven't worked out the policy on that. But if I can, then I will wear this because it's super smart, but casual, but wearable and cool, all those things. I'll put some pictures in somewhere of me walking around my garden or whatever. But I just love it. I definitely can see more Alexas in my life. My brain's so creative at the moment. I know some people have struggled with the creativity, and understandably so. Don't get me wrong, I have had good days and I've had bad days. Literally, I've had days where, yeah, just getting out of bed seems to be quite hard work, but just of late, I've loved the whole process, and I've got my brain is just lined up with things I want to make. And if you remember in my one of my fabric hauls, not the not the latest one, but one from about 6 weeks ago. I had this dark green viscose, and I think that's going to make a lovely jumpsuit because it's quite, I didn't put, what did I do? Let me see. Oh no, I didn't put any of the pockets on. Whoop. It's upside down now, that's helpful. I didn't put any of the pockets on, but I'll put a picture, a stock photo of the Alexa, and it's got quite military style pockets on the front if you want to, and I think the dark green, it's like a khaki viscose, I think that would look brilliant and quite militaire, or you know, like utilitarian, so I'm really looking forward to making that. But I've got so many things I want to make, so I'm going to leave it there for today. So relatively short one from me, but I have got coming up what else I've been sewing. You're like, really, how much more can this woman make? But I have been on fire with sewing things. So I've got I finally finished up the Eve blouse. I've cut out the Freya blouse, which I can't wait to show you. Haven't made that yet. I've got a really exciting safari style dress that I'm just in the middle of creating, and there's some wonderful stories behind all of those things. But I've also this month I've done a pattern review for AK Patterns, so please do have a chance to check out the review for that. It's a beautiful wrap style jersey top, and just recently my Betty dress review and my vlog for Felicity Fabrics went live. So I've been a busy lady, but I've absolutely loved it. And on top of that, I've made some elderflower cordial. Oh, and I also made a lemon drizzle cake. Check me out. I'm like a domestic goddess suddenly. But I am going back to work soon. I know I've said that once before, but then Boris did a bit of an announcement, and my company changed their mind for the security and well-being of us all. So thank you for that. But I am due to go back next week. So yeah, and we'll be open in line with the government recommendations, I think. So things will change then too, which is very exciting. Oh, comes out Alice. Hello, Alice. How you doing? We can't quite see you. Oh, no. Just walking in, going back out. Oh, picking up a badger. Okay, well, I'll leave it there. In the meantime, please stay safe and well. I have opened a coffee account, which I'll put the details of in the information box down below. I absolutely love making things and sharing my experience with you, but as my YouTube channel grows, I would really love to invest in some bits and pieces, and if you could buy me a virtual coffee, I would really appreciate it. Genuinely, for the price of a cup of coffee, I could start to invest in some bits and pieces. So if you could do that, that would be amazing. If you can't, that's fine too. Please leave me a comment. I absolutely loved hearing from you. You do really genuinely inspire me, so thank you for that. In the meantime, stay safe and well. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye bye.